We are jumping on these morning mindset calls to get our mind in the right place first thing in the morning. If you change your thinking, you change your life. As always, if you have that morning routine and you have something that allows you to have a plan of action for the day, something good to think on, something positive to think on, it's going to continue to bless your life, continue to bless the rest of your day. You all know that I talk a lot about having a morning routine. If you have that morning routine that you can put into place, it'll allow you the ability to start to control the rest of your day. When we wake up in chaos mentally, the rest of our days become chaos. That's why we jump on. That's why we do this. The reason why these are important is because there's a lot of negativity in the world. There's a lot of people in the world that are not headed in the direction that we're headed in the direction of taking our lives to the next level, success in all areas, health, wealth, relationships, happiness, mindset. There's people that are not moving in that direction. So we have to limit ourselves. You can't, right, fully take them away, but you got to limit yourself from those type of people and continue to get into communities and hear messages with people that are headed in that direction. Remember, you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. You're the average of the 5 people that you hang out with the most. You're the average of the 5 people, of the 5 last people that you talk to, or the people that you talk to every day. You're the average of them. What does that mean? It means you're going to make about the same money. You're going to think about life about the same ways. You're going to have the same habits. You're going to have the same expectations. Your health is going to be about in the same area. All those things are going to be about the same. If all of the people that are closest to you are eat a certain way or have a certain health standard, but you want to change your health standards, you want to go vegan, you want to, I don't know, right, get back to a place of dropping some weight, but everyone that you normally are around does the opposite. They're okay to eat a certain way. They're okay to eat a bunch of fried food or whatever. It's going to be really difficult for you to change until you get out of that circle, until those are not your associations. The same thing with mindset. The same thing with mindset. If the people that are around you are typically sometimes negative, sometimes pessimistic about the world, don't have optimistic views, don't have a lot of goals, don't have a lot of things they're trying to get to, okay being okay, and you hang around that, that'll be you, right? For all of us that are parents, you might have heard yourself say this to your children, right? Like, show me your friends and I'll show you you, right? It's true for children. It's true for adults. You show me your associations, you show me your friends, it'll be a huge reflection on who you are and how you think about things. So that's why we do these calls. That's why we're here, is because we need to get into new associations. We need to have new ideas and people that stimulate us to get us to the place that we want to go in life. So welcome. I'm glad you guys are here. Invite more people that want to go in this direction, because there's a lot of us. We just got to go out there and find them. So let's dive into the video today.
Discouragement can creep in secretly. Discouragement is so bold that it will even hide behind a smile. It will always ride to work with you. And if it doesn't catch a ride going to work, it'll catch a ride on the way back home.
Whoever stays down is a loser who fail and get up, fail and get up, fail and get up. That is a winner. That is a winner.
Because it takes courage to put yourself out there and try to get a little better. I think those who learn to endure hardship, struggle, challenge, difficulty, pain, failure, that's one side of that.
And I just learned to be comfortable being uncomfortable. If you play it safe, you won't have much of a life. Life is risk.
Well, let me tell you something. Don't be afraid of failing, because there's nothing wrong with failing. What is not okay is that when you fail, you stay down.
I love that I feel bad when I don't do a good job. Guilt is a tool. Guilt is a weapon. Most people hate that about themselves. I love that feeling. I'm like, I didn't do a good job there. Next time I will. So some people, guilt is discouragement. Other people, it's a signal for learning.
If you listen at discouragement, it will cause you to make bad decisions. It will cause you to think that life is not worth living. You will wonder if you're ever going to get out of what you're into.
It take courage to pursue your dream. Now, it's going to cost you something. Most people are not willing to pay what it costs to go after your dream, because you're going to have to hurt a little bit. And most people don't like being uncomfortable. If you don't want to be uncomfortable, please do not pursue success. Because success is a very uncomfortable feeling.
If you advance confidently in the direction of your own dreams and endeavor to live the life which you have imagined, you will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. Success is an inner process. Success is something that you bring to everything you do in your life.
Today, if you ask me, what does it take to be happy, and give it you one word: progress. Progress equals happiness. When you're making progress in your body, even if you're not there yet, you feel good. We gotta grow, we gotta make progress. It's easy to make progress in the beginning of something. There is a power in mastery. And how many people do you know are really committed to mastery today? Most people dabble in a million things, they master nothing, and they wonder why they're unfulfilled. Because they're running for the sugar, the next thing that feels good, instead of getting past what doesn't feel good and getting to where you own something. Progress is the game, my friend. You gotta grow or you die inside, and you gotta give or you don't feel any meaning in your life. And life isn't always happy, but it can always be meaningful. And if it's meaningful, life is rich.
You were a survivor, so I want you to get off this. I want you to cut it off. I want you to go in the mirror, and I want you to make the rest of your life the best of your life. I can, I will, I must.
When you realize you will be 10 times more energized, focused, and take positive action in your life, when you first choose to develop yourself as a priority, and then get to the stuff of the world. And before you say happiness won't pay my bills, happiness will pay your bills. You must value yourself enough to take the time every single day to work on you, to engage in something that will ensure you are a positive influence on the world.
You have not peaked here. There's more in you that you are expressing. Eye has not seen, ear has not heard, nor has entered the heart of mankind what's in store for you if you challenge yourself, if you persist and persevere, if you take ownership for your life. George Bernard Shaw said the people that make it in this life, they look around for the circumstances that they want, and if they can't find them, they create them. Create what you want. The reason you're here is because there's something in you that says, I can do more. This just can't be it. There's something in you. There's a calling on your life.
I want you to know that no matter where you are in life, no matter how low you have sunk, no matter how bleak your situation, this is not the end. This is not the end of your story. This is not the final chapter of your life.
The human spirit doesn't care what's happened to your family. The human spirit doesn't care about the past. You may have been molested, or your family may have been broke, or you may have been betrayed, or you may have a divorce. Your human spirit doesn't care about any of that. Your human spirit simply says, what's our command for tomorrow? What do you want to create? It's not keeping score. Your brain is keeping score, because your brain is designed to keep you safe. Your soul, your intuition, your human spirit is designed to make you soar. And when you get to the edge of that stage, your brain will always tell you to step back. It's always going to tell you to step back, because you can fall. Always, it's gonna tell you step back. Because before you fail, the last time you did this, you saw someone else fail. You could hurt, you could be off work. It's gonna tell you, it's designed to keep you safe. So you have to be willing to play between your brain and your soul. And on some days, you gotta just listen to your soul. And you gotta say, I'm gonna leap, I'm gonna get to the edge. Most people are at the edge, and you're standing at the edge, and you're watching everyone else fly. You know, watching people's lives on Facebook. You're at the edge, watching someone else live, wondering what it's gonna be like when you jump without ever jumping. And I'm just here to tell you, jump. Because only three things can happen. You're either gonna jump and fly, or you're gonna jump and fall on something soft, or you're gonna fall down hard. Either way, you're gonna get back up. You already know you got what it takes to get back up. Your greatest fear is not that you will fall. Your greatest fear is that you will live a full life and never fly, that you never leaped. You're not afraid of dying. You're afraid of dying before the world sees who you really are, before they really get your fingerprint, before they really feel your breath, before they really get your contribution, before they really feel you. That's what you don't want to happen. You don't want to leave this place without us knowing you were here. All I'm doing is giving my dream a chance. And I'm not extraordinary. You don't get off the hook. You don't get to be let off the hook. I'm an ordinary woman who chooses every day to make one more extraordinary decision.
What I'd like you to do right now, I want you to think about your dream. Think about your dream right now and envision it. I don't know what that dream is that you have. I don't care how far-fetched it might appear to be. I don't care how disappointing it might have been as you've been working toward that dream. But here's what I know, that dream that you're holding in your mind, that it's possible. See, sometimes we can't say, I can do that. But what we can say, that it's possible that I can have my dream as we run toward it, as we work on it day in and day out. And most people don't work on their dreams. Why? They stop growing, they stop working on themselves, they stop stretching, they stop pushing themselves. These are not risk takers. Most people have done all that they're ever going to do. They raise a family, they earn a living, and then they die. But people who are running toward their dreams, life has a special kind of meaning. That in the process of working on your dreams, you are going to incur a lot of disappointment, a lot of failure, a lot of pain, a lot of setbacks, a lot of defeats. But in the process of doing that, you will discover some things about yourself that you don't know right now. What you'll realize is that you're more powerful than you can ever begin to imagine.
Anybody still got dreams out there? Anybody still got dreams? Anybody still pushing towards their dreams? I hope you are. I hope that's why you're here on these calls, because you actually have dreams. You have places that you want to get to. You have things you want to see in your life. I just want you all to know that as long as you're on this journey, as long as you are pushing towards your dreams, there's going to be hard times. There's going to be failure. There's going to be setbacks. There's going to be struggle. Like, that is what comes with this. Most people give up on their dreams. Good job, man, saying living the dream. I'm glad you are. There's bigger dreams out there for us too, continuing to push for those things. But that's where it all starts. You got to have a dream in mind. You got to have something that you know you're going towards, that you're moving towards. Most people give up on their dreams. Most people, like, I think it was Les Brown at the end that says, right, they have a family, they make a living for themselves, and they die. That's it. They don't ever get a chance to experience the dreams, the visions, the things that God has already placed in their mind that will get that is further beyond what they see right now. Most people stop going that direction, but not us, right? Not you. You have to continue to push for your dreams, but because of that, there's things you have to know along the journey. There's things you have to understand, that failure is something that happens. You have to have the courage. I think Steve Harvey in there, someone else said, right? It takes courage to pursue your dreams. It takes courage to continue to do things day after day and not necessarily see your progress or see the advancement. It takes courage for you to go against the system or go against what your family says or go against what your friend circle says. Like, it takes courage to do those things. And we have to build our courage in order to get to our dreams. But the one word that kept popping up in there a bunch, you might have heard it, was failure. Arnold Schwarzenegger in there in the beginning was talking about failure and how nothing is failure. Failure is a good thing. The only thing that's failure is when you don't get back up. Is you get knocked down, you continue to get knocked down, and then you choose to not get back up. That's failure. Otherwise, failure is a good thing. Failure is something that is needed in order for you to get to that dream. Why? Because that's how we learn. Through things not working the way that they are supposed to work in your eye or in your expectation. That's how you learn. That's how you learn about yourself. That's how you learn about what things don't work. It's through the failure. And too often I see this all the time. People are scared to try because they're scared to fail. They're scared to do something that's uncomfortable. They're scared to do something that they don't really understand just yet because they're scared to fail at it. They're scared to be bad at it. They're scared to have to take a step back in an area. And I just want to let all of you know and share with you that, like, that our lives in order to get our lives to where we want them to be. In our text, again, 177 mental toughness secrets of the world class says here, number 48 says, the great ones are professional failures. Professional failures, right? It's all how we paint that picture, the story that we create in our mind. That's really all it is. It's the story. What does that failure mean? What does that setback mean? Does it mean we're not supposed to be doing this? Does it mean that, right, God isn't in this plan for us? Does it mean that we took a wrong step somewhere? Like, what does it actually mean for us when we have those setbacks? Here's what it says in the book. It says the majority of the differences between amateurs and pros is a subtle separation. It's a slight difference in thinking that makes a big difference in results. Say that one again. It's a slight difference in thinking that makes a big difference in results. Lisa Nichols at the end of that video said, I'm not going to let you off the hook. I'm just an average woman, right? I'm just an ordinary woman, but I have a choice every day to make extraordinary decisions. She's like, that's all it is. It's little slight differences. And that's what it says here in the book. It's a slight difference in thinking that makes a big difference in results. The idea of failure is an example of this. Amateurs tend to believe failure is painful and should be avoided in order to maintain a sense of pride and dignity. In an effort to protect their egos, they attempt only those things they know they can do. Champions see failure as a necessary building block of mega success and treat it as a teacher. People labeled as failures are amateurs at failing. Successful people are professional failures who have failed their way to success. The difference is their mental approach. Champions are in the business of protecting their egos. Champions aren't in the business of protecting their egos. They're in the business of learning, growing, and becoming. They see failures as necessary course adjustments, not always pleasant, yet necessary to gain the wisdom and mental toughness it's going to take to make their vision a reality. While amateurs spend a lot of time focusing on how not to fail, pros are dialed into doing what it takes to succeed. The problem-solving, execution-based focus creates a greater awareness of more potential solutions. A focus on failure prevention creates an awareness of fear, lack, and poverty. It's all a matter of where the performer places his attention. A focus on failure prevention creates an awareness of fear, lack, and poverty. If people are so focused on not failing, you will create an awareness around the things that you're fearful of, the things you do not have, and of poverty. I want you to take that in and understand this is how most people operate. Because they're so scared to fail, because they're scared to take a risk, to learn something new. What it actually does is it creates more of an awareness of the things you're scared of and the things that you have a fear around. And what you focus on, you get more of. This is how it works in our brain. What you focus on, you get more of. So if you focus on the things you don't have, the lack, you'll get more of it. If you focus on the fear, the scary things, the things that you just don't want to get through, you'll have more of it show up in your life. You focus on poverty, you focus on not having money, you focus on the mindsets of the poor, poverty-minded, you'll attract more of that into your life. So that's why we have to change our thinking and change our perspective around this notion of failure, this notion of if I don't do it well or if I don't make it happen, that's a bad thing. Again, it says here, champions see failure as a necessary building block for mega success and treat it like a teacher. Treat it as a teacher. What are you learning? If something doesn't work, hey, what did I learn during that? If I step out on this and I step out on faith and say, you know what, I'm going to try this thing. I'm going to try to master this thing. I'm going to put myself in a position where I'm uncomfortable because I know that I really am not equipped to do this just yet. I'm not equipped to do this job. I'm not equipped to build this business yet. I'm not equipped to lead these people just yet, but I'm going to put myself in that position because I know that if I don't do well, if I fail, so to speak, at it, it's going to teach me something. It's going to teach me something about myself. It's going to teach me something about, right, how I handle pressure. It's going to teach me something about being prepared. It's going to help me develop into the person that I need to become to get to the things that I'm asking for. That's why it says here, champions aren't in the business of protecting their egos. They're in the business of learning, growing, and becoming. That's the business we have to be in, ladies and gentlemen. We have to be in the business of learning, growing, and becoming. If you just do the things you're good at, you will stop learning. If you just do the things that you know you're capable of doing, you will stop growing. You won't be able to become more because you haven't had new experiences. You haven't put yourself in new situations. You haven't been uncomfortable. You haven't been around new people. These are the ways that we learn, grow, and become more. This is the process of becoming successful. Remember, I use that word successful. I want you to understand success in any area. Success in any area. Success in your relationships means you have to learn new things about people, about relationships, about how to deal better in relationships. That would be success. And if you only have the same friends, if you only have the same thoughts about people, if you only do the same, you will not grow and learn and become better in relationships. It won't work. If you don't understand things about business, if you've never stepped out and said, you know what, I'm going to start this business, you won't be able to learn more about yourself and how to operate as an entrepreneur. You won't learn more about sales or more about marketing or more about operations if you don't actually go and do it and fail at it. You won't be able to become the businesswoman that you look to be, that makes 500 grand a year, that makes $1 million a year. You won't be able to become that if you're unwilling to fail at some things. John Maxwell has a book called Failing Forward. Failing Forward. I highly recommend the book if any of you struggle with this notion of failure, of not doing something great, of starting out as a novice. Failing Forward. The premise of the book is exactly in the title. When you're failing, how you think of this, it's not a setback. You're not moving backwards. You're failing and moving forward. You're like, ah, man, didn't do that one right. All right, what did I learn from that? All right, I know next time, got to be more prepared. Fail forward. And you keep stepping forward in your failures. That's why it becomes the building block to success. That's how all of this is tied together. The more that you fail, the more that you fail, the more you are likely to get to success. I remember this story real quick from Sarah Blakely. Sarah Blakely was the founder of Spanx. Women, you got y'all probably know what that is. Men might not, but right, founder of Spanx. She was giving her kind of story about how she grew up, and this was one of the things that caught my like that resonated with me, that I think was really one of the turning points in the ways that her mindset was shifted in order to become a billionaire. She was one of the youngest billionaire women ever, right? Because of a product that she created. But she said that when she was a kid, her and her brother would go to school, and when they would come home, their mom a lot of times would ask, like most parents do, hey, would you do well, right? Like, hey, what happened in school? And they would always talk about like the good things, oh, I got an A on this test, or oh, right, I did really well in this this speech, or whatever the case is. Always the good things. And she said her dad would never actually get excited by those things at all. He actually kind of wouldn't even applaud them. And he started to ask them, hey, what did you fail at today? What did you not do well today? Like, what was that thing? Instead of just telling me all the things that like you did really well, what are the things that you didn't do well, that you failed at, that like you thought you would do and then it didn't turn out that way? And she said it took them a little bit of time to start thinking about it. But then once they did, and specifically her, she started to tell him the things that she failed at throughout the day. And he was so excited to applaud her for failing at something, for pushing herself through something. And that became how she operated in life, because she got that messaging as a child that failure is a good thing. When she would come home and tell her dad the things that she failed at, he was applauding her. He was more excited because he knew that that is the building block to success. If we raise our children to think that failing is not a good thing, this is why I'm not a fan of traditional education, is because we demean people that get F's on a test. Like it's just the worst thing ever. You are outcast. Your parents don't like you. They get mad at you. The people make fun of you when you get an F. So naturally, as a child, we think that failing is not a good thing. And then we practice this life of, oh, I'm so great. I'm so good. I can do all these things. But the key to success is learning how to fail and learning how to take lessons from those failures. And so those little switches, what does it say here? It's the subtle separation. It's the slight difference in thinking that makes the big difference in results. That slight difference of her dad telling her, hey, I'm happy when you fail, was the thing that made the big difference where she could become a billionaire before 30. Those are the things, ladies and gentlemen, that we have to think about, that we have to make sure that we are applying in our own lives, to not just take the information that we have heard that, society gives us. We have to know that there is a different way to think about it. And this is one of those ways. You got to fail forward, because failing is about learning, growing, and becoming. Here's the quote today. It says, there can be no failure to a man who has not lost his courage, his character, his self-respect, or his confidence. He is still a king. Ask yourself this question today. Have I been playing it safe to avoid failure? Have you been playing it safe to avoid failure? On a scale from 1 to 7, 7 being the highest, how many risks have you taken in an effort to make your vision a reality? I hope you're at a 7. I hope you get close to a 7. I hope you're taking risks every day. I hope you're getting uncomfortable every day. I hope you're learning, growing, and becoming someone new every day. I hope you're willing to fail forward, willing to put yourself in a position where you don't know all the answers, where you're not comfortable, where things you have to learn, you have to change in order to get to where you want to go, to make your vision a reality. I hope that is what you're doing. It's going to bless your life. I promise you. Put yourself in that position, and you're going to watch things change. I love you guys. I want you to win. You deserve to win. Your families deserve to win. People are counting on you. You don't know everyone that's counting on you, but there are people that are counting on you to win. There are people that are counting on you in 7 years to have taken this information and done something with it so you can come back and save them. You might not be able to help them right now. They might not even be asking for help right now. But in a few years, something's going to happen and they're going to turn to you. And because you're on this call, you're the ones that are getting this information to go apply it in your life, to go do the things that you need to do, make your vision a reality, save the people that need to be saved in your family and around you. It's too crowded down here at the bottom, guys. It's time to get to the top of this thing. We're here with you to get to the top. We're coming back on Monday. Monday. It's the first Monday that we're doing it. I'm going to introduce you to one of my really good friends. He's been personally growing and personally developing himself for as long as I've known him, and he has a message for you. He has a word for you. I'm gonna introduce you to him on Monday, but make sure you come back on Monday, same time, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. Jump back on, same link. Go out this weekend, do something that scares you, pushes you out of your comfort zone, and watch your life change. We'll see you guys on Monday. Take care.